Zach, let's get to our next one here. We have Nebraska and Northern Iowa. So Nebraska, Dylan Rayola throws for 247 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did have a pick, so because does go against him there, but this is the same thing we've seen from Nebraska. Multiple guys getting carries. Dante Dowdle, he was the leading rusher on the team, but there were so many guys that were getting carries. Emmett Johnson was in there. Ja'Cory Barney was in there. I mean, just so many guys getting carries. Gabe Irvin Jr., he only had 3 carries for 3 yards, but it didn't matter because everybody else was getting carries and doing a great job. You just can't say enough good things about this Nebraska team right now. Granted, it's against bad competition. Colorado and Northern Iowa are not great teams, but I was impressed that Northern Iowa was able to dominate the time of possession, and Nebraska was still able to put up 34 points in this one. They were
Yeah.
scoring at will. Even if Northern Iowa kept the ball for, minutes and minutes at a time, it didn't matter because Nebraska came out and they were in offensive rhythm and taking care of Northern Iowa.
Yeah. Well, and I think what's encouraging, Dylan Rayola has been consistent. If I'm correct, that's his first pick that he's thrown all season in 3 games.
I believe so. I'll check really fast, but yes, I
Yeah.
believe so.
But he's been consistent. He's been accurate. And they have not faced a good defense. To Sean Garner's point, they have not faced a good defense. I wouldn't say they've faced a great offense, but they have certainly faced really good offensive skill in the
I'd
receivers
say
from
they faced
Colorado.
NFL talent. That's what I would
Yes.
say. They faced
Yeah.
NFL talent.
Yeah. They face some NFL talent. Um, eh, how we have our thoughts about Colorado, but it is legitimate NFL talent, and they face them. And I think Illinois is going to be a really good test for them. I think Pat Bryant is an underrated receiver. I think Altmaier is playing really well, but I think to your point, I continue to be impressed with Nebraska. They're strong on the lines. I think the running game, particularly with Dowdell, has really been good. And I'm excited to see how they continue to progress with Rayola at quarterback. I don't think Matt Rule is nervous to put more on him. In fact, I mean, there was a press conference saying that his receivers need to catch up to Rayola, which is saying that Rayola is ahead of the curve. And I think there's some really good things happening. So what happened with Northern Iowa, really, it's what we expected, but it's good that they did what we expected them to do.
Yeah, I mean they had 9 possessions in this game and they scored on 7 of them. So I mean they
Yep.
didn't punt one time. It was the interception and what was it? A missed field goal was the other one, or no, down. Did they go for it on downs and they didn't convert? One of those two.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble remembering off the top of my head. But anyway, I remember they didn't punt at all in this game. So, I mean, Nebraska, this offense is looking very potent right now with a freshman quarterback. You would expect, even against bad competition, you would expect a freshman quarterback would show himself to be a freshman at some point. But, I mean, you haven't really seen it consistently at any
Mhm.
point. You could argue the interception in this game, but you haven't seen it for like long periods of time, drive after drive after drive. And so Dylan Rayola, I mean, I just can't sing enough good praises about him
Yep.
right now and what he's doing. So it's very
Yep.
impressive as a freshman, and
Yep.
Matt Rule has to be loving
Yep.
it.
Yep. It starts to get real next week, though, for him.
Yes, yeah. We'll be talking about the Nebraska Illinois game come Tuesday. We'll do a big preview of that because we know everybody's excited for that, and we'll talk about that. So.
Mhm.
All